the new Amazon Fire TV Cube, the Generation 3. This was sent over to Martin for review. We don't have to go into great detail, Martin, because the review's obviously up there, and we will encourage people to go and read that and get the full details. But just give us a gist of the product and what you thought.
Yeah, sure. So this is a kind of a new category for me. So for me, it was fascinating to review and dig in deep. But this is the third generation of the Fire TV Cube, and it's Amazon's fastest Fire TV streaming media player yet, with an octa-core processor that makes it 20% more powerful than the previous generation. The processor increases app launch speeds, making this Fire TV, in Amazon's words, the smoothest and most fluid streaming media player so far. The Cube can be controlled hands-free with Alexa, which is key. So it is an Alexa smart speaker as well as a streaming box. And of course, it supports 4K Ultra HD, Dolby Vision, HDR, and Dolby Atmos audio in a 7.1.2 configuration. Plus, it offers a raft of new features, including an HDMI input port. So this makes it the only streamer that has an HDMI input. So if you have an external gaming console or a cable box that you want to connect, you can then ingest that interface into that of the Fire TV Cube. It also uses Wi-Fi 6E support, which means you get much better Wi-Fi connectivity in the home and less interruption from other devices as well. It's got a very attractive build. I was very impressed with the build quality. It's got a cloth surround. It replaces the second gen's glossy black hard-cornered version, which didn't have the HDMI input either. Of course, the big sell, like I said, is having hands-free Alexa control plus streaming. The other thing I really liked is the unit will turn on all your components. So it learns all the commands either over ARC or through learning remote commands. So it will turn on your soundbar or your active speakers and your TV as well. So it's nice the way it turns everything on. I was very impressed with how it did that. Easy setup procedure. It's very smooth. It's actually a very pleasurable setup procedure as well. And you're guided through all the different stages, and there's a bit of humor thrown in as well. There's a USB port for extra storage, photos and videos, and video calling is enabled with Alexa communications. There's HDMI, like I said, for a cable box, Wi-Fi 6 tri-band, and there's also two quite neat features in the form of Asha support, which is audio streaming for hearing aids, which means you can connect compatible Bluetooth hearing aids. And there's an IR emitter for controlling a display or AV receiver. So if you're using one of these in your home cinema, it will slot in nicely there. It's got a great interface, but there are ads. I didn't see any targeted ads towards me, but there's a lot of pushing of Amazon Prime content. And there's been quite a lot of pushback from that because Apple TV does not have any advertising, targeted or otherwise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And performance, beautiful, color accurate, sharp, consistent grain structure. I liked everything I saw, and the performance was lightning fast. I really loved this little box, actually. Great addition.
Excellent. And what about the user interface? I know a lot of manufacturers are going back and reassessing because some devices nowadays, you're page upon page and you get lost very quickly. So in terms of user interface, for somebody who's maybe not as switched on as we are in terms of using these devices, how easy is it to use?
I thought very easy, very intuitive, and I got around it very quickly. I haven't had a chance to play around with Apple TV. I believe that is a more streamlined and easier interface, but this suited me very well. I got around the apps very quickly, and like I said, I liked the setup as well.
Yeah. Excellent. So if you want more details, you want to find out a little bit more about Martin's review and what you thought, and get a little bit more of a deep dive, then go and read the review. It is on the AVForums website.
It is just worth mentioning, Phil, very quickly, because a few people have asked this, and people are asking, what's the advantage of the Apple TV? It is worth mentioning that the 128 gig version of the ATV Apple TV does have gigabit Ethernet. And for some people on the forums, this was a concern about whether they could plug into their NAS or media distribution servers. Apple TV might serve you better if you need a gigabit Ethernet connection. This tops out at 100 megabits per second.
Right. Okay. Well, I guess, that's going to be important for some users. And again, if you want more details on that, head over to the website. You read the review, and of course, the discussion thread is attached to that. If you want to ask questions or you want to read up on what other people think, you can head in there as well.